Push a bunny too far and it'll bite. Jin Tutu punched his boss on his first day. He scared himself half to death. Joe the Tyrant didn't fight back. He just made him stand holding a thermos until his legs gave out. Joe the Tyrant probably hasn't been hit in ages. Jin Tutu's slap left him feeling refreshed. Not hot anymore. Totally relieved. He said it could happen more often. What a total psycho. The manager sent over a new uniform as thanks. Tears of joy were flowing. I was thinking, nobody in the world could work with this jerk. Thank God Dr. Jin showed up. Hope they can keep working together. They even threw a welcome party for Jin Tutu. Everyone's warmth really moved Jin Tutu. Anywhere without Joe the Tyrant felt so relaxing. Just looking at his face brought back bad memories. Wherever he was, there was punishment. He loved making scenes in public too. Now he felt embarrassed around the athletes. The excited athletes prepared a welcome drink for Dr. Jin. Jin Tutu saw the huge glass and panicked inside. Do athletes like everything supersized? Giant thermos plus this huge glass. This is too much. He wasn't mentally ready yet. Joe the Tyrant strutted in all smug. He poured in another bottle, without mercy, and taunted him. Wonder if Dr. Jin can finish all this. You're pretty weak anyway. The bunny wanted to refuse, but faced with that challenge, he found his courage, raised the glass, and chugged it. The athletes were stunned. That's Dr. Jin for you, so brave. 3 seconds later, he hit the floor. Joe the Tyrant, watching the show, got called out by the manager to take Dr. Jin home. The reason? He was the only one who hadn't been drinking. Or scowling, he got pushed out by the manager. Taking the drunk home was his job. No arguing. Getting an address out of a drunk person isn't easy. Joe the Tyrant looked at the rundown neighborhood with disgust. He tossed him over his shoulder, like a sack, and headed out. Inside the place made his heart sink. This tiny, rundown room, leaking moldy ceiling, messy bed. Poverty everywhere. He actually lives in a place like this. What a mess of a life. He tossed him on the bed, and asked impatiently, is this why you wanted 14 million? Wasted. Jin Tutu couldn't hear anything. He kept calling for grandma. Couldn't stay another second. Joe the Tyrant, disgusted, turned to leave. But suddenly had someone clinging to his leg. Jin Tutu, tears streaming, grabbed his leg. Don't go. I want to come too. I don't want to be alone. Punching a fighting champion in the face, then hugging his leg, crying. Only drunk bunny would dare. Hungover Jin Tutu opened his eyes again. Everything was bright. He thought groggily, when did my place get like this? Next second he shot up in shock. This wasn't his place. How'd he end up at Joe's house? What happened last night? He couldn't remember anything after drinking. Did Joe bring me back? Tutu quickly checked his body. Good, nothing hurts. Looks like there was no punishment last night. Why would he bring me home then? Joe the Tyrant appeared in the room, out of nowhere, and mocked. Are you putting on a show? With how much you reeked of booze, who'd jump you? Jin Tutu, blushing, got out of bed to thank him sincerely. But Joe the Tyrant mocked him cruelly again. I didn't bring you back because I like you. Your place isn't fit for humans. I couldn't stand it for 1 second. His good mood crashed to freezing. Not fit for humans. Are poor people not human? Maybe that's how rich people think. He said goodbye and turned to leave, but heard him ask again. Why live in such a filthy place? What a jerk. You know nothing about my life. Why say that? Jin Tutu, shaking with tears in his eyes, turned back and demanded. If things were bad for me, would you give me more money? Where I live is none of your business. He left with tears streaming down his face. Such a bad guy. If you hated it so much, why bring me here? You could have just left me at home. This is so awful. Watching him storm off, Joe the Tyrant was confused. Did I say something wrong? Last night you clung to me and wouldn't let me leave. I finally did something nice and got yelled at. Guess sympathy shouldn't be wasted. On the way home, Jin Tutu got angrier. But he couldn't leave that guy. His salary could pay for grandma's treatment and loan interest. But to pay off the principal, he'd have to stick with Joe for years. What a terrible life. His phone rang suddenly. His building was getting demolished next week. Move out now. Not moving meant paying compensation. He barely had money for food. How could he afford rent? 20 days until next paycheck. He was wondering how to survive this awful life. A baseball bat blocked his path. The debt collector beat him without a word. The reason? He paid too much interest last month. How do broke guys suddenly get money? Didn't want trouble from shady cash. Jin Tutu swore it was from working. Next month would be paid on time too. The debt collector was in a bad mood, beat Jin Tutu again before leaving. The next day, Jin Tutu came to work covered in bruises. Everyone rushed over concerned about Jin Tutu. Only Joe the Tyrant coldly glanced over. He coldly announced the match date was set. Better take care of yourself. Pre-match sparring is hard work. During physical therapy after training today, Jin Tutu was distracted and hesitant. Finally, he worked up the courage to speak. That's late show. Can I get an advance on next month's salary? I know I just got paid. But I need to move urgently. I'm really sorry. This is the first and last time. Joe the Tyrant shot up from the bed and mocked. Unbelievable. Already spent it all. Think I'm a pushover. Treating me like an ATM. before he could explode further. Jin Qiu, trembling, dropped to his knee. I'll pay you back equally. Whatever you want. Anything. I'll do my best to satisfy you. Please. Looking at the pitiful person before him, Zhou the tyrant showed no mercy. He grabbed him and pulled him out. His face showed that evil, mocking, twisted smile. I've got a new game I want to play. One night of torture for a fancy breakfast. Is it really worth it? Watching that awful person actually cook for him. Beyond the fear, he felt more moved. Jin Tutu was heartbreaking. Chewing his food, he thought, is this a dream? Yesterday he tortured me like that. Today he made me food. Too unreal. Something changed when I passed out yesterday, but it's been so long since someone cooked for me. It's so good. What Jin Tutu didn't know was after he passed out, Zhou the tyrant called a doctor for him. The poor guy's condition shocked the doctor. He looked at Zhou the tyrant stunned. My God, how could you be so blinded by pleasure? Putting him in this state is too much. Zhou the tyrant acted all righteous. I only did the butt part. The rest wasn't me. The doctor scolding. Injured this bad, he should go to the hospital. Why call me? Zhou the tyrant walked to the bed and said, if I took him to the hospital like this, tomorrow's headline will be Zhou Zaijing finally killed someone. The doctor reluctantly admitted that makes sense. He's exhausted from overwork. Mostly lots of external injuries. Never got any treatment. He really needs rest in this condition. Plus he's malnourished. The tyrant was truly shocked. People still get malnourished these days. The doctor said seriously. Of course they do. So you need to tell him to eat properly and go to the hospital for a checkup. The doctor blushed a bit embarrassed. Your new sparring partner is so good looking. So cute. Overall things haven't been great lately. How'd you catch this big fish? Zhou the tyrant immediately looked fierce. You don't need to know. The doctor said too bad and added. Your rough behavior with sparring partners is famous in our circle. But this kid's body is too weak. Keep being rough and you'll kill him. Be gentle with him. Show some compassion. Faced with the doctor's nagging, Zhou the tyrant finally exploded. Enough already. Want rumors spreading at the hospital. To keep his job? The doctor figured he better leave, but he reminded him before going. Make sure he rests today. Most importantly, make him eat well. You need to stay with him. When Jin Tutu woke up again, he opened his eyes to find Zhou the tyrant staring straight at him. He jumped up from the bed in panic, but his whole body ached and trembled. Surprisingly, Zhou the tyrant wasn't as mean as before. You're finally awake. Remember passing out? The poor thing kept apologizing. Sorry, so sorry. I was rude again. Zhou the tyrant sighed all sung dear. Alright, get dressed and come with me. This nutritious breakfast in front of him. Jin Tutu was so shocked he couldn't speak. Zhou the tyrant looked impatient. Eat up and get out. Don't tell me you're a picky eater. Jin Tutu snapped back. No, I'll eat now. How long has it been since someone cooked for me? Move for 3 seconds. Zhou the tyrant spoke again. I don't expect you to have amazing skills, but at least build up stamina to handle me. If you pass out again like this time, I'll be in trouble. You know I have a match this week. Need pre-match prep. Don't mess up my competition. Jin Tutu obediently agreed. I'll do my best. Match day at the gym, the athletes were saying. It was a jump class match. The opponent was super cocky and posted videos taunting and insulting athlete Zhou. He felt vaguely uneasy. But they did the pre-match prep yesterday. Should be fine, right? While thinking this, his phone suddenly rang. He picked up and heard the manager's anxious voice. Dr. Jin, big trouble. You need to come right away. Wow, his first kiss. Looks like the Groveling arc isn't far off. Dan learned Zhou had problems before the match. Panicked, he grabbed a cab and rushed to the venue. The manager frantically waved at Jing Dan. Rushed the savior over to see athlete Zhou. Jing Dan saw Zhou surrounded by people and felt bad for him. Looking around at the uncomfortable, tense atmosphere, Jing Dan got more worried. He seems worse than I thought. Athlete Zhou turned around, looked straight at him with eyes he'd never seen before. Before the match, the fighters met for the first time. The opponent deliberately provoked him, spat right in Zhou Zaijing's face. Zhou Zaijing's veins bulged immediately. He swung to destroy his opponent. Luckily, the manager stopped him in time. Zhou Zaijing was probably really pissed by the other fighter. Pre-match training, he was totally off. My shoulder muscles feel locked up. The manager took one look at Zhou Zaijing and was worried sick. He came over during the break to ask Zhou Zaijing if he needed treatment. The answer was, I don't think I can. My shoulder won't move. The manager was so shocked his eyes almost popped and ran to get the medical team. But Zhou Zaijing asked for Jin Dan by name. And just like that, Dan Baobai got talked into coming. As soon as Zhou Zaijing saw Jin Dan, he yanked him inside and shoved everyone else out. The manager didn't get it. Why clear the room for treatment? He reminded him there's less than an hour left. The match is about to start, so recover fast. In the lounge, Zhou Zaijing pinned Jin Dan against the wall. Let's talk, close off. We gotta do the pre-game warm-up. Jin Dan froze. You brought me to Busan for this. I even took the bullet train, so I'm just a prop. I worried about him like an idiot. Zhou Zaijing went full beast mode, zero tenderness. He dove straight in, like a man possessed during the practice. cuddle. His head was echoing with the opponent's taunts and insults. Fuming, he slammed his fist into the locker door. Jing Dan shook with fear and didn't dare make a sound. Under Zhou Zaijing's relentless pounding, Jing Dan couldn't take it anymore. He begged Zhou Zaijing, please go easy, it hurts. Zhou finally snapped out of it, saw something was wrong with Jing Dan, and remembered the doctor's warning. Your friend is too weak. Be gentle with him. Zhou's eyes drifted to those tempting lips. He grabbed Jing Dan's soft cheeks without asking, and planted a rough, wild kiss. Jing Dan was stunned. What is with this guy? Poor Dan Baobei got roughed up by a thug again and almost got assaulted. Things were finally looking up. In the morning mirror, the bruises on his face were almost gone. Shout out to the ointment from Zhou Zaijing. It really worked. But that unreadable Zhou Zaijing, is he being hot and cold on purpose? He cooks for me and gives me great ointment. What is he doing? And why did he kiss me that day? He's usually so irritable. What a twist. And that was my first kiss. If he hits me with that force again, I won't be able to breathe. After washing up, Jin Dan headed out to find a place to move. In the afternoon, he still had to go with Zhou Zaijing for the physical, so he ran through countless real estate offices just to find something cheaper. But the next complex is being redeveloped, so prices nearby have shot up. No deposit rentals are tiny and pricey. Even with 14 million a month, after grandma's medical bills and interest on the debt, I can't even cover rent. Should I have asked Zhou Zaijing for more at the start? The thought scared even him. Am I losing it? Zhou Zaijing has already helped me a ton. That amount was huge. I just have too many expenses. That's why it's not enough. But I still need a slightly bigger place, or grandma's precious dowry won't fit. So Jin Dan rallied, eating while calling agencies, then looked up and saw the debt collectors. Real estate, what are you even saying? Trying to run. Meanwhile at the arena, Zhou Zaijing was going hard on cardio. He stared at the clock annoyed. We're past the time. Where is that guy Jin Dan? He insisted on coming for the physical. He snapped at the manager again, asking if Jin Dan had called him. The manager looked worried. If he's running late, he always tells me first. Now his phone won't even connect. You know where Dr. Jin lives, right? Swing by and check on him on your way to the hospital. Zhou Daijin looked annoyed. Are you kidding me? Don't be so dramatic. Just push the hospital appointment. Back at Jin Dan's place, a pack of thugs had just paused mid-beating. They saw his phone buzzing non-stop and picked it up to check the messages. Then, oh boy, boss, look at this. Oh, this kid's account has a ton of money. Whoa, last month too. The ringleader yanked Jin Dan by the hair and snarled. You made this much and still wanna run. You don't go anywhere till you pay up. Transfer it all to me. Poor Dan Baobei hesitated, and a shoe stomped his hand. Clutching his hand in pain, he begged, they're redeveloping here. I have to move fast. Can I send half first? That earned him another beating, plus a threat. Send it all, or we go after your grandma. Grandma is Jin Dan's weak spot, so he transferred everything. Even after the money went through, the thugs mocked him. Where'd you get all that cash? Selling yourself. No answer. Then it's true. That face is pretty enough. Bet lots of people like you. I'm real curious what 14 million gets you. Why not let us try too? They all grinned, gross and sleazy. Beaten and hurt, Jin Dan couldn't break free no matter how he struggled. A lackey even asked the boss, you serious, boss? He's a guy. The ringleader smirked. Let's try it first. Maybe it has a special flavor. Then he started tearing off Jin Dan's clothes. Jin Dan was flooded with fear, panic, and pain. Blood and tears covered his face. Why me? Why is my life this miserable? I'm scared. I'm sick to my stomach. Somebody help me. Right, when they were a split second from getting their way, a chilling voice came from behind them. Who are you? What do you think you're doing here? The third day of Zhou Zaijing being a menace, hiding down in his love nest, and first thing in the morning, he wants the deluxe sausage and eggs. Level handsome Zhou Zaijing goes full telenovela and rescues his. He literally carried his spouse to be to the physical. Too bad the hospital was closed, so they missed it. When Jing Dan fussed over him, he snapped back. Jing Dan ignored his own injuries, rushing over to check if Zhou Zaijing was hurt. What if they file a complaint? It could mess up your career. Zhou Zaijing said, if I sue them for illegal lending, they're done. Besides, I paid an amount equal to what you owed. Jing Dan's jaw dropped. Wait, did Zhou Zaijing clear my debt? This is my problem. Why would Zhou Zaijing do that? Zhou Zaijing's mean streak flared. A beggar like you, did you think you'd pay that off in this lifetime? Call it an advance on your salary. Seeing Jin Dan not happy but hopeless, Zhou Zaijing lost it. He yanked Jin Dan by the shirt and shouted, then go back there. Open your legs for those scumbags. Pay it back slowly. He dragged Jin Dan along. Fresh from almost being assaulted by a mob, Jin Dan was shaking all over. He struggled and said, Zhou Zaijing, thank you. I'll pay you back. Zhou Zaijing smirked. You know how to pay me back, right? Dear Dr. Dan, drop the pride from now on. Remember this, I paid for you. You're my spouse to be. Watching Zhou Zaijing walk away, Jin Dan thought. I thought clearing the debt would make life better. It still feels like a mess. In Zhu Zaijing's luxury car, Jin Dan asked to go home to pack. Zhou Jing dropped a bomb. It's a dump. Forget packing. Move into my place. Try a high-end apartment. Jin Dan couldn't believe his ears. He stared at Zhu Zaijing, too shocked to speak. When he opened his eyes again, he saw a bright, unfamiliar space. Turns out it wasn't a dream. This is Zhou Zaijing's home. Wearing Zhu Zaijing's oversized t-shirt, Jin Dan went downstairs to find him. At the table, Zhu Zaijing delivered serious rules with not-so-serious subtext. Listen up, you're not living here for free. We can do the physical therapy. Body management is more comfortable here. If you're not at work, stay home. My favorite things are best done at home. Use anything in the house. But don't even think about stealing. Thieves are the worst. And never make noise when I'm sleeping, or you're dead. Remember these for now. Feed yourself. Jin Dan nodded, agreed, then carefully asked, Why are you doing this for me, Zhou Zaijing? You paid my debt and let me live with you. Zhou Zaijing got defensive on the spot. You don't think I helped you because I like you, do you? No way. Not for you. It's all to make my life easier. You're just a prop to break the curse. A little deflated, Jin Dan said, I'll pay you back and move out as soon as I can. Watching Zhu Zaijing leave, Jin Dan thought. For a second, I thought it was kindness and sympathy. Guess I imagined it. Even if he doesn't treat me like a person, I can't do anything about it right now. Zhu Zaijing was about to head out, then suddenly slammed Jin Dan onto the dining table with a greedy grin. Heading out without breakfast is a waste. Let me taste that breakfast egg. Then he went straight for it, rough as ever. Zhu Zaijing eating that heavy this early. Forget battered Jin Dan. Who could handle that? After holding back for days, Zhu Zaijing pulled out the thermos trick again. Hot water with flair. Classic cute. Ever since Zhu Zaijing's overbearing rescue. When Jin Dan returned to the rental, demolition had already started. Luckily, they hadn't hit his unit. After the last fight, the place was a wreck. He did a quick pack up, looked at a childhood photo with grandma, and tucked it into his bag. Then he saw grandma's dowry, since it's precious to her. She'll be happy to see it after she's discharged, so he decided to take it. He looked once more at the house he grew up in with grandma, and closed the door. Goodbye, my home. Zhu Zaijing walked in, saw the cabinet, and frowned. What is this junk? But Jin Dan apologized and explained. It's grandma's cherished dowry. She'll be happy to see it when she's out. So I have to keep it. I'll tuck it in a corner. I'll take it with me when I move out. Zhu Zaijing was surprised to hear grandma's in the hospital and, shockingly, didn't blow up. Do what you want, he said generously, then went to train. A long-lost smile, as cute as when he was little, returned to Jin Dan's face. He'd lived in Zhou Zaijing's mansion for 10 days. But Zhou was busy with pre-game training and there'd been no cuddles, so he felt lonely. Then a call from Zhu Zaijing snapped him out of it. Boil hot water at home. Or get prepped, and in 20 we start the pre-game thermos hot water session. Jin Dan turned beet red. Talk about speaking of the devil. I have to boil it myself. I'm not sure I can nail the heat. What a headache. But if I don't prep, a big thermos is way too much. So he braced himself, copied how Zhou Zaijing did it, and preheated the thermos. Somehow boiling hot water felt weirdly joyful. Right as he was trembling all over, he heard Zhu Zaijing behind him. Well, no, not bad. Jin Dan's face flared red as he stammered an explanation. I didn't, let me explain. Fired up, Zhu Zaijing slammed him onto the counter without a second thought. He pulled out the big thermos and forced the hot water taste. Very pleased with Jin Dan. Prep work was excellent. Watching Jin Dan obediently sip his hot water, Zhu Zaijing's eyes gleam with mischief and he smirks. He suddenly scoops up Jin Dan, who's drinking his hot water. Time to unlock a new game. Looking at Zhou in the mirror, Jin Dan is holding a thermos, feeding him water. His face instantly turns bright red. Hell Lady is definitely Zhu Zaijing's real mom. She always hits the brakes right before everyone wants to gang up on him, pulling up his likability. Last episode, Zhu Zaijing was in the zone when a phone call interrupted him. Bold Jin Dan ignored all protest and kicked Zhu Zaijing right off the bed. He ran crying to the hospital to find grandma, leaving Zhu Zaijing alone and confused on the bed. Jin Dan got to the hospital and found out it was a false alarm. Grandma just had some breathing trouble. The hospital contacted him just to be safe. Jin Dan thanked the doctor and let out a big sigh of relief, collapsing to his knees. That really scared him. He thought grandma had passed away. Looking at grandma lying peacefully in the hospital, Jin Dan's tears streamed down, blaming himself for not spending more time with grandma. Jin Dan walked out of the hospital and got hit by the cold air. Realizing he left in such a rush, he forgot his jacket. Jin Dan got home. Seeing Zhu Zaijing getting ready to go work out, he just said flatly on that, I'll sleep for an hour and get up. Won't affect work, and crashed on the couch. Zhu Zaijing was running and thinking about Jin Dan being so harsh and ignoring him. He frowned. Thief, getting more reckless by the day. Meanwhile, Jin Dan was trapped in his own nightmare. Chubby, adorable little Jin Dan woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't find grandma. Big tears rolled from his eyes. Calling out, Grandma, Grandma, where did you go? Grandma came back from getting water and held the crying little Jin Dan, comforting him that grandma would never abandon him. Jin Dan opened his tear-filled eyes from his dream, rubbing his dizzy head. He grabbed his phone and saw several missed calls from the hospital. He panicked, rushing back to the hospital. Anxiously pushing open grandma's hospital room door, he was shocked by the scene in front of him. His eyes nearly popped out, wondering if he was still dreaming. Zhu Zaijing was actually chatting with grandma, and they seemed to be getting along great. Grandma saw Jin Dan standing there completely stunned, happily grabbed her grandson's hand with caring words. She even praised Zhou for being handsome and mature, strong and kind. Such a good guy. Wishing Jin Dan could be as strong as Joe. The son Joe beaming from the compliment sipped the yogurt Grandma gave him and said, he really enjoys chatting with Grandma, finding it very interesting. The caregiver coming in cleared things up for the totally confused Jin Dan. Grandma woke up missing her grandson and wanted to see him, but couldn't reach him by phone. Zhu Zaijing came back from his workout, saw the phone buzzing on the couch, looked at Jin Dan sleeping like he was sick, so he answered the call and came to visit Grandma for Jin Dan. Grandma really likes your handsome friend. Jin Dan watched Joe chatting softly with Grandma. Even more confused, came to see Grandma because I was sick. Joe must be possessed. Zhu Zaijin really lives up to his name. He's sharp, always at the right moment, knows how to win over everyone's hearts. Not only did he visit Grandma for Jin Dan, kept Grandma company, he even paid Grandma's hospital bills. Where did this angel come from? He's just always grumpy with his hubby, watching Jin Dan apologizing over and over. He snapped back with a threat. If you interrupt me again during our time together, I won't let you off easy. Jin Dan promised there won't be a next time. It's been so long since he saw Grandma this happy. He's really grateful. Jin Dan flashed Zhu Zaijin a killer smile, nearly killing him. He turned and left, acting all composed, thoughtfully telling Jin Dan to come back to me. Back in the hospital room, Grandma still praising Joe. Besides our Dan baby, I haven't seen such a handsome, strong young man in ages. Jin Dan had a tiny moment of self-doubt. Am I strong too? What did Grandma and Joe talk about? Grandma happily said they talked about a lot. He listened carefully and was great at conversation. Really such a kind young man. Jin Dan fell into self-doubt again. Kinda. What did he talk about with Grandma to make people call him kind? Even the caregiver gushed about him. Of course, that handsome face is eye-catching. And he paid several months of Grandma's hospital bills. His heart is as good as his face. Really such a kind young man. Jin Dan's heart raced hearing all this. Why is Joe doing all this? I'm just helping him with treatment and part-time cuddling. He's helped me way too much, saving me from danger multiple times, paying off my debts, now paying Grandma's medical bills. Jin Dan made up his mind. No matter how much he torments me during our sessions, he'll be grateful, fulfilling all his weird requests, letting him do whatever he wants. Zhu Zaijin openly revealed to his teammates that he and Jin Dan are living together. This freaked out little potato, who secretly has a crush on someone. The day after returning from the hospital, Zhu Zaijin came back from his usual workout, walked in and smelled food, looked up and saw a handsome guy busy in the kitchen. Scowling, he yelled, "What are you doing?" Jin Dan brought out the freshly made food and making breakfast. "You're so busy every day. Breakfast should be hearty." Zhu Zaijin kept his grumpy face. "Don't waste your time. I'll have a nutritionist who handles my meals." He turned and saw a table full of hot, hearty breakfast. Froze it for a moment. Jin Dan said softly, "Just try it today. If it's not good, we'll go back to the old way." Zhu Zaijin sat down. Looking at his expression, you can tell how good Jin Dan's cooking is. He even doubted if Jin Dan bought this breakfast. Jin Dan explained he learned cooking from Grandma. He really made it himself. Jin Dan thanked Zhu Zaijin again. He'll definitely pay back Grandma's medical expenses, and will do his best to take care of Joe. Zhu Zaijin chuckled, clearly satisfied, stood up and said, "From now on, have it ready like this when I get back from my work," then left all proud. Jin Dan looked down at the empty plates on the table. Couldn't be happier. "Oh, that's great." He really liked it. At time, at the gym, Jin Dan was about to take a bite of his burger when everyone stared at him like hungry wolves. Athletes have to watch their weight, stuck sadly munching on salad, even wanting just one fry. It was ruthlessly denied by the manager. Back to munching salad, someone asked Joe how he manages his physique. "What does he eat in the morning?" Zhu Zaijin, showing off, said, "Dr. Dan makes his breakfast. He lives at my place." Jin Dan nearly choked on his drink, coughing non-stop, facing everyone's intense stares. His face turned bright red from coughing or embarrassment. The camera then cuts to someone at the table who looks like Jinnah. He has a constipated look on his face. The author is stirring up drama. Great news, fans can relax. Little Potato is just Zhu Zaijin's fanboy. No threat to our Dan baby. He's actually pretty cute. Little Potato's real name is Huang Yunju, 20 years old. Grew up watching Zhu Zaijin compete. Total fanboy. Wants to become an excellent fighter like Zhu Zaijin. Came to Zhu Zaijin's side with big dreams. Too bad dreams and reality don't match. His skills aren't good enough to compete. Stuck cleaning the gym. Competing is one thing. Everyone rubs his potato head before big matches, stealing his good luck. Him, all these years not competing. Must be because his luck got stolen. Why does Dr. Dan get a high five for good luck? It's so annoying. Alone in the gym, Little Potato asked huffily, "Why didn't Zaijin come today?" Jin Dan, looking at his red hand from all the high fives, replied, "Joe said he'll come after his schedule." "Good luck with your training, Yunjio. I'm heading in." Little Potato got even more annoyed. They're definitely close. He knows Zaijin's schedule so well. He analyzed with the Zaijin. So jealous. Potato was practicing jump rope and nearly tripped. Looked up and saw his childhood idol Zhu Zaijin back. Blushing, he went over to say, "Hi." Inside, his heart was on fire. Yes, finally on one training time with Zaijin today. His excitement lasted 2 seconds. Jin Dan opened the door to say hi, instantly killing Potato's little flame. Watching the two chat so closely, Potato felt bitter. Never seen Zaijin so close with anyone. They're definitely special to each other. Potato is officially jealous. Really wants to get that close to Zaijin. Potato's mind played a whole movie. Me and my idol getting close. After his daydream, Little Potato shyly went to Zhu Zaijin. while some guy was coldly resisted by Zhu Zaijing. The reason Little Potato's skills are too weak. Crushed, Little Potato sat huffily watching Zhu Zaijing train hard. Kindly Jindan came to comfort him. Yinjiu, you don't look so good. If you're not feeling well, let me know. Little Potato pouted, saying he's fine. Why doesn't Dr. Dan go watch the match since he's so free? Jindan rubbed his chin and said, I'd like to watch. Jingming, you won't let me? Little Potato looked shocked. Won't let you? What special relationship do they have? Could it be us? Nah, I'm overthinking. Living together, they're both guys. Definitely not what I'm thinking. Jealous Zhu Zaijing, with eyes in the back of his head, teleported between the two chatting, dragging Jindan away. Slammed the therapy room door. Little Potato looked terrified. Oh my, is Zaijing that desperate for therapy? Just as he was about to leave, he heard strange sounds from the therapy room. When Little Potato loves eavesdropping, meets Zhu Zaijing who loves getting physical, Joe definitely knows how to play. Jealous Zhu Zaijing pulled Jindan into the therapy room, wanting to play a super exciting game. Dan resisted with all his might. They're always too loud. Worried Little Potato eavesdropping might find out, traumatizing his young heart. Annoyed, Zhu Zaijing flung the door open, catching Little Potato red-handed. Explaining he was just passing by, Zhu Zaijing didn't care. Tossed Little Potato a black heart. Kid, stop eavesdropping. Go buy some coffee to perk us up. Potato was so excited. First time Zaijing asked me to run an errand, and it's a black heart to spend freely. Don't worry, Zaijing. I'll be back in a flash. But Zhu Zaijing stopped him, telling him to go to a coffee shop 20 kilometers away. Take your time. Guys who understands. Potato was so touched. Zaijing cares about me, telling me to take my time. But I'll be faster than light. Getting rid of the eavesdropping potato, Jindan had no more excuses to refuse the game. Zhu Zaijing was super hyped, trying all sorts of things. Unlocking various game levels. Mid-game, Little Potato called, trying to eavesdrop remotely. Zhu Zaijing smirked his signature bad boy smile, playing the game while on the phone. The legendary phone play. Zhu Zaijing is so bad. Made Little Potato list the menu to stall for time, making Jindan answer the phone while he kept going. Poor Jindan got totally wrecked. Zhu Zaijing was thrilled. Poor Little Potato just confused on the phone, continuing his errand service. Zhu Zaijing totally hyped, unlocked another level. The Jindan takedown level. Both of them ended up wiped out, leaving a couch full of white gear. Guys, who understands? Another wild chapter. After Zhu Zaijing and Jindan's 800 round battle,